So here are my three Zoro katanas. It needs a little working. The paint has worn off a little bit. I'll be retouching and polishing uh, the katanas in the coming week. So, and also want to let you know that I did not make this. I bought them. Yeah, sorry, someone has a question. Sorry, did someone say something? Okay, fine. All right. So these are the swords that I bought. These swords and I modified them to look like Zoro swords. Also, yes, as you can see, it needs a little polishing and reworking. The paint has worn off a little bit, but it's in good shape. So yeah. Uh, Also, letting you guys know that Rahul makes swords. He's also an excellent prop maker. So if you guys want any props made, you can approach him, and based on his schedule, he'll be able
I
to
was
make.
I was about to say if you're putting Wano Zoro, I'll be ready to give you the Enma sword.
You actually insane squad,
Dude,
bro.
I would really love to cosplay Wano. It's just that my schedule has been really tight, so I couldn't make the kimono. So I only have enough time to style the wig a little bit and then polish my katana. That's the only time I have left. So
No, like
yeah.
whenever you're going to cosplay, you're definitely
Yes.
going to do Wano Zoro. So I know that. So when you're doing it, I'll give you the swords.
Yes. Actually, have plans. So I've never told anyone this, but since this is a cosplay session, I'm letting you guys know. I'm actually planning to do a Zoro montage video, hiring some professional cameraman. It's just that I want this video to be a good video and do justice to Zoro. So I'm actually getting my physique to get better and also learn some good sword skills so the video comes out good. It's in the pipeline. It's working. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it by the end of this year. So yeah, that's just letting you
I'm
guys
ready
know.
to I'm ready to sponsor you the swords for you.
Thanks
Like
so much. Thanks
all
so much,
four
bro.
of them. All four of them.
Wow.
Wano, Chimanji, Kitetsu, Enma, Shizui, all four.
Mhm.
Just make me a call.
Right.
I'll send all four on your way.
Yeah, that would be wonderful, dude. Thanks so much. Thanks. See, this is what the cosplay community is about. I mean, for the others who are new to this CosTalk session, uh, if someone needs help with anything at all, you can feel free to ask. Do not, feel awkward or shy that maybe you lack a certain skill or you would feel that it's very silly to ask something like this. But the truth is even professional cosplayers make a lot of silly mistakes and even they need experience every day. It could be something as simple as a velcro strap or a safety pin that could save your entire cosplay costume for the con. So
No,
that is how
actually,
at least.
I have this experience to
Mm,
share. So when I was making
yes.
swords, like in the beginning time, I used like raw tools, like the ones you
Mhm,
have in your home, the normal
mhm,
wood chipping thing, all that. So I went and I like stuffed a little. I found this wire saw. When I posted that, I used a wire saw, like one of a big cosplayer. Like I don't want to mention him because like he was like super shocked and he was like, "What is this? Like, how do you do this? Like, this is a wire saw. Like people use it. Don't like. Have you not heard about it?" He said, "No." I'm like, okay. Like I was feeling like how could he not know about this? And then I realized like it's the same as me. So even I didn't know it. I'm not an expert in wood and all that. I like searched for it and then only got to know about this. Like there's something called wire saw which you can use it for like very minute artworks and all. I was very curious, like how did he not know? He's a big cosplayer and all that. I was shocked.
Dude, I'll tell you what. See, it's the professional cosplayers who will surprise you the most because I'll tell you from my experience. These professional cosplayers, when they go to cons, they get so excited about
No,
these one day.
one second. One second.
Hmm,
Your voice is breaking. One second.
sorry, can you hear me now?
Your voice is so badly breaking. Is it for me or is it for like everybody?
I think it's for your friend. I can hear him properly. Huh?
Actually, it's fine for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. One, two, three. Hello. Did you guys hear that well?
Uh,
Yeah,
Ah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
hear
now,
you.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah. Let's
reception
go.
is good
Okay.
for us.
Okay. 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 Fine. All right. So yeah, what I was trying to say is, I've seen a lot of professional cosplayers who come up to regular cosplayers or even the first-time cosplayers, and they're like they admire their work so much because, these one-day cosplayers or casual cosplayers, they make the costume in just one day. They would have been really busy their entire week, their entire schedule, and they put this costume together in one day. And there are a lot of techniques that they use that the professional cosplayers want to learn from them. It's a very simple thing that could actually transform their next cosplay project. It is that important, to observe these casual cosplayers and regular cosplayers. I personally love casual cosplay, budget cosplay, simply because of the amount of creativity that goes into these cosplays. Of course, you
You know
need
how that
techniques.
comes? You know how that comes? Lack of money. You don't have enough money to
Yeah.
afford that. Lack of money. You
Yes.
need to
Yes.
simplify things so that like you can afford it and also let's do it faster than possible.
Precisely, precisely. See, they have this fire, they have this intention that they want to cosplay, they want to walk the red carpet. And by the way, guys, in Comic Con, they actually put a red carpet for cosplayers. That's very good. Like you get the celebrity treatment if you go to a Comic Con. It'll change your life, I tell you. See, I'll tell you, like if you see a little kid running up to you and like saying Luffy, and then he admires you, he looks at you, and he wants to wear the straw hat, and he asks like, I want to wear the straw hat, I want to take a picture with your straw hat. It makes you so happy and you feel so validated, and it's something that will motivate you to cosplay, in the future, in the further cons. Even if you're going to cosplay just one day, if there's someone who is impressed by your cosplay, you're going to feel good. So I would personally tell you, please attend Comic Con at least once in your life. It's because the crowd is so diverse. The crowd consists of everyone, not just about anime. The people there know anime. They love DC. They love Marvel. They love Indian superheroes. There's a guy in his 30s or 40s who would have been a Shaktiman fan in 30 years back. He would love your cosplay if you cosplay Shaktiman. So I've seen all the spectrum of people going crazy, geeking out. Yeah, there was a time when I've seen a guy on wheelchair. He cosplayed some character. I don't remember the cosplay character exactly, but he was so happy to cosplay the character and be part of the cosplay community. It made him so happy, and like I gave him a hug, and it was really great. So yeah, I would personally tell you, please attend Comic Con at least once to experience what cosplay is all about. Why people invest so much money in making cosplay? Why do people travel from one city to another city just to attend the convention where people are dressed up like goose? So yeah. Yes. Okay. Coming back to my swords. So these are my three Zoro swords. I actually bought these swords at a shop called RS Supermarket in Adyar. Unfortunately, the store does not have this really good big legit looking katana. They ran out of stocks, and the COVID hit, and they have not been able to import stuff since then. It's also a challenge. One of the things that's really hard to get now are cosplay props, especially cosplay wigs. So ordering a cosplay wig from an online store like AliExpress will definitely not ship to India. It's already known. There are other websites from where you can order cosplay stuff, but I wouldn't recommend that because they are all shady websites. Like you don't know if your prop is going to come home or not. So I wouldn't recommend that. Having said that, that has left a lot of room for Indian prop makers to fill this gap. See, now in India, cosplay has become something. It's starting to become mainstream, and a lot of people are starting to know about cosplay. They want to cosplay, uh, but they don't want to make cosplay props or cosplay costumes. So they cannot import stuff from other countries. It's going to get blocked by customs. So in India, if you are someone who knows to make props, you can actually make some good money out of this demand that has been created by the COVID situation. So that's one thing you can monetize off. So yeah. Anyway, those are my
Quick
Zoro
question.
swords. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, what are the best props in your opinion to manufacture or make in mass?
What are the best props too? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the second part of the question.
Yeah. So you said there is like a gap, right? So what is the demand? What props are in demand?
So by props, I mean everything in the spectrum of cosplay: swords, wooden swords, small props that are made out of cardboard or EVA foam. EVA foam is one material that is extensively used by almost all the cosplayers. Our well-known cos demon, he is an expert with EVA foam. He bends them, he wields them. I don't know what kind of magic he does, but it's the same foam. He just turns it different things. So when it comes to cosplay, the predominantly the kind of props that people use are made out of cardboard, wood, EVA foam, and a little bit of fabric. So these are the commonly used materials. So let's take Zorro for example. Right, Zorro is a good example. There are people who make Zorro swords out of wood. There are people who make Zorro swords out of cardboard, out of popsicle sticks, and even out of foam, out of EVA foam. So I'll give you one example with EVA foam. What they do is they take a sheet of foam, they cut it in the shape of a katana using a template or just free hand drawn templates. And they stick two layers of EVA foam together and they run an aluminum rod right in the middle so that it's sturdy, doesn't wobble. So that's one way of making a sword. Another is sticking popsicle sticks together so that it becomes a little sturdy, and then you cut it and then you sand it to make it look like a katana. So there are different ways of making props. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to use this material for this. If you are creative enough, you can literally use anything that's just trash around your house to make a cosplay prop. So, Anthony, I hope that answers your question.
Oh, I like to add up something.
Yeah, that answers my question.
Okay, yeah.
So
Someone wanted to
hi.
add a point?
Yeah, me, it's me. So I've been selling
Yes,
wooden
sir.
swords. So far, like till now, I made around like 70 swords. So in these 70 swords, I sold around like 28 swords. So in these 28 swords, there were no pattern. Like not one did choose a single pattern. Like not everybody wanted a Demon Slayer sword, not everybody wanted a Zoro sword. There are different patterns to it. So you can't actually specify that this is what they want. There's a vast variety of anime and vast variety of fan bases. One such thing is I expected Zoro swords to sell out more, but to the fact is I only sold around like four Zoro swords throughout. Only four out of
Uh,
28. Out of
okay.
28, only four Zoro swords
What's
are
the
sold.
highest amount of props, I mean, or weapons that you have sold?
It's Demon
What
Slayer's
sells more?
Tanjiro sword. Tanjiro sword was
Non-zero
the
sold.
frequent one, and Inosuke sword, double sword.
Ah,
Both of them are,
okay.
that is the like largest like people most frequently asked Demon Slayer swords. Most frequently.
Right. Okay.
That's really
How
cool.
much time do you take now to make one
Oh,
sword? Let's say a generic sword.
yeah. So up until January, it took me around like a week to make one. Right now, I
Mhm.
shortened the time to 24 hours.
Nice.
Damn.
So
That's wonderful.
in order to make one sword, it is going to take me 24 hours. Like making it,
Uh,
packing it is a different story. I hate packing.
just like everybody else. Can you
Yes.
like tell us how you pack the sword so that it doesn't get damaged in transit?
Yes. So
Give
the
us,
thing is, I
please
don't
share your
have
knowledge.
like, yeah, sure, definitely. So I don't have this industry or setup all that. I just buy these cardboard boxes from a nearby automobile shop. I go to this guy and I ask him like, I need a box. So he has a lot of goods to run right. So he has a lot of boxes outside. So I used to pay him 10, 20 rupees for 2 to 3 boxes. So he used to give me
Oh.
boxes. He is my box supplier. And I get
Boss.
this thermocol foam, which is like very thick. Like I think around it's like 10 centimeters thick. I found this in a nearby market. They also use it for packing. So, but I use them like as blocks so that like it won't touch the boxes outside. So it's like kindly levitated. I wanted to use this because my prior experience. So I sent one sword to Delhi and it's like broke. I was
Oh,
shocked
okay.
because the packing was good, but still broke. But it was my fault, so I had to replace that sword. So from that, I learned that like, okay, you have to give at least some safety to it. Even though the swords are wood, they are breakable. At one point, it's gonna break if you don't use it properly.
I
So
mean, if
that's why I
you
used
smash
foam.
it,
Yes,
you have
and
no idea how people handle it.
right now I found this benefit from post office. Like post office are cheaper than your private couriers. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I was so dumb.
Okay.
And third of I didn't even go near post office because I thought like they're old, the government thing, they're going to be delayed. But no, actually recently I sent one to JK and the same time I sent one to Delhi. So the Delhi one I sent it through private courier and the private courier told that we can't do it till JK. That's too long. We don't have an office over there. So post office was my last resort. The JK one went
Mhm.
faster than the Delhi one, the private one. I was shocked. Like, dude, what? And they charged me far less than the private one.
Wow, for the
Okay,
first time, we are seeing government sector working
yes,
faster
yes.
than a
After
private
that,
sector.
after that, I stuck to the post office. Like now, me and them are two friends. Like once I walk in, they're like, "Hi, hi, how are you? How are you doing? Like, how is your business going?" But the only problem is, I lied to them that I told them this is walking stick. These are not swords. These are walking stick. Yes,
No,
I
you can't tell
know.
them it's swords.
Yes, yes, I know. If I tell them that sword, they're not going to like proceed it. I know they're going
Yeah,
to do it. They're not going to
yeah.
do it. So up until now, they
Mhm.
don't. I'm a wood craftsman who makes walking stick. One time this
Wow.
guy got shocked and he asked me like how JK has like a lot of wood factories and all that. Why like somebody's
Huh.
asking from TN to
Why?
JK? Like
Why does
I told them I do designer stuff, so and they believed
it's
it.
a special, it's a special designer killer walking stick that kills
Yeah,
people.
and they believe it and they're super friendly. That's one thing. So
That's
if
nice.
you ask for sales and if you ask like I want to choose a specific product, I don't think you can choose a specific product. See, right now I have
Mm-hmm.
in my home I have around like 40 swords of different enemies. None of them are repeated ones. And there are still swords which I want to make. You don't know the
Mm-hmm.
customer who wants what in the
Right.
field of
Yeah.
anime and otaku things. So you just if you're going to buy something and stock it, it's based on luck.
Correct. I mean,
You
you're
Okay.
not you're
just
not sure that it's going to be sold, right? It's just
yes,
going to sit
yes,
in your shelf.
yes. That's why
So
that's
yeah.
why I have this code right. Only after you order it, I'm going to make it. I'm not going to stock this.
Yeah.
So and also
Use
I
your
get this.
current
I give this
stocks
feeling.
for advertisement.
Yeah. So I give this feeling to customer that every sword is made for them. It's not like I just
Right.
pick something from a rack and send it to them. So every
Mhm.
And
time I get
how
an order.
much time do you ask for each of your projects? What is your like? Do you have
Oh,
like a template or something
yeah,
for
I
that?
asked them. Yeah, I asked them 15 days of time. That's really long, but the thing is,
Right.
you're not ready every day to make something.
Yeah.
It's
You have
good to ask that much time
yeah, and people
because
are
you
ready
never
to
know
do
what
it.
will go wrong.
Yeah, people are ready to give that time. I was shocked. I thought like people
Mm.
will not accept it, but people are ready to give that time. They're ready to give even more time. They just want the product to be like to come to their hands.
Right.
One guy waited a
Okay.
month for a sword. He waited a month.
Okay. I mean, see, once you start a cosplay project, as cosplayers, we know we have no idea what fiasco will go wrong. Something will go wrong, I tell you that.
Oh,
Even if it's
yes.
something as simple as using a needle and a thread to sew a piece of patch of cloth, even in that, something could go wrong. It's that, I don't know, it's a cosplayer's luck, I would say. So, yes.
That's why. That's why I asked them like 15 days time period so that like even something goes wrong, I have the chance to rework it or like do something else in
Yeah.
that meantime. So 24 hours is good.
Mm.
The faster it comes to them, they're happy. If I send them
Yeah.
within these 15 days, they're more happy than to receive it.
I mean, it's a customer's mindset, right? You tell
Yeah,
them that they're going to
learned
receive it.
that from Amazon.
Amazon? Amazon, I know, I know. See, I'll be expecting the Amazon package to arrive tomorrow, or the day after, and the fellow will call me like, "Boss, I'm at your doorstep." I'm like, wow, yes.
Yeah, you're
Low
faster than
expectations.
expected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
like
call it.
people set the expectation like, okay, only after 15 days I'm going to get it, and then when it comes earlier, they're literally happy, and it makes the experience more like exciting. And I always
Right.
ask them to
Yeah.
take a like unboxing video so that like if it's broken or something, I replace it. But I'm very unlucky with it. Most people don't take that because they're too excited to open it. They're not setting up something like how to unbox. No, they're like pretty damn excited to open it. I'm okay with that, but how do I know it's not broken and it came to you and like you broke it, or that there's
Yeah,
this trust issue?
that's that. Remember the time when Artist Parade, your one of your swords broke, right? A
Yes,
fellow
yes,
swung
yes.
the
That was a
sword high.
project sword. I was
Uh,
not ready to bring it, but this one guy from my team like reluctantly, he's a big time uh, Bleach fan. I told that
mhm.
sword is a project sword. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to make it again because it's so unstable. It was weak. When I made it in wood, it was so
Uh,
weak. I told him it's
I think
unstable. Now he wanted to see it.
there was a patch missing, right? I mean, I think that's what
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sword is.
Yes, yes. That's
Okay.
the Bleach Moon Cutter. I think it's the third form of the sword. So there's a small patch
Oh,
in between the sword. If it's made in
right.
metal, it will be good. But this is wood,
Mm.
and that's a very thin wood. So I already patched it with the glue and all that, and I know it's unstable. And I told them, don't swing it. Just take a
And
photo. This is the most unstable sword I have, and it's very long. It's pretty
yeah.
long.
The
It's
worst
more
part
than a
is he
meter.
even recorded a video of him breaking
Yes,
it.
this guy, like everybody was shouting Bleach. Up until that point, I haven't seen Bleach. These guys are giving
Uh,
too much hype. Like, okay, have fun, but be careful with it. Don't break the sword. The only thing I told him was, don't break the sword. This sword is weak. Actually, when it was in his hands, it was good. It went to another
Mhm.
guy, so he didn't know that. He just
Yeah,
took out the
that
sword
is
and
really bad.
excited, like swinged it like Bankai, and like it broke
Yeah,
because like he swinged it so hard, so it touched the ground. So it
yeah.
broke. So it's not a problem. It was a project, so I know it's going to broke. It's going to
No,
break on that
I
time.
think the reason it broke is because of the unstable
Yes,
the
yes. The structure.
uneven patch. Yeah, like
The
so when you
structure.
swing
The
the
structure
sword,
is the problem.
the weight distribution is not even, and then
No,
it
the
breaks.
structure is problem. The thing is, usually I make the swords in single wood, so there's no patches or I don't attach something else. It's a single wood.
Right.
In that
Mhm.
sword specifically, I had to cut a center patch, which is quite impossible. It
Mhm.
was impossible at that time because I didn't have this wire sword that time. I didn't know that
Mhm.
this tech and all. So I used like three different wood patches so that I can
Mhm.
achieve the design. But as soon as
Okay.
I made it, I knew it's not gonna be stable. If you swing it, it's gonna break. I know it because I had it in my hand.
We know it.
But these
We know that
these
it's going to be a disaster, and
yeah,
yet we take it out.
yeah, and this Bleach guy was too desperate to see that. I was like, okay. Well, he's the guy who's gonna give me a lift from Central to the college. I was like, okay. I can't say
For
no to him.
compensation.
Yeah. I can't say no to him. But
Compensation.
this yeah, but I was okay. I was okay with breaking that. Okay. It was an unstable design, so it's not a problem. But this guy was like saying too many sorries, and he like got my number from another guy and is again texting me, sorry bro, I broke it. Man, cool, no problem. you know it's fine.
A
Stop
good
the
lesson.
sorry.
It happens.
Yeah, this
One
happens, no
one thing
problem.
that happened to me at Khan, but it's not related to prop, is that I wore this wig. Okay, I wore this to PGX. It's supposed to be a Goku Super Saiyan wig. The picture on Amazon was completely different, and I was baited into buying it. And after I got the wig, I realized that it's a disaster. But I still wore it because I have done I've stitched the costume, so I didn't want to give up on that. Okay, so I wore the costume and I wore this wig, and a woman, an auntie, she pulled the wig off of my head, and that was really bad. That was really bad. I couldn't do anything. Like, see, it happened in a split second. I was sitting in the chair, and this auntie just passed by. Everybody passes around you, right? So like you don't notice it, and then the auntie, and she pulled the wig off, and my head was bald, and I was trying to hold the wig, and the auntie went away, and I wanted to report this to the security people, but the auntie was very swift. I couldn't find her afterwards. So that is one bad experience I had at a con. So I would also tell you guys that see, I know cosplayers are very interesting people, and you are excited to take pictures with them. You want to know how their props are made, how they make their swords and everything. But please make sure that proper courtesy is followed. If you want to take a picture, or if you want to just ask cosplay, just go up to them, tell them, hey, hi, your costume looks good, or I'm interested to know how you made this cosplay. I want to take a picture with you. All this is basic courtesy, instead of just going and touching their props, or because you don't know how the prop is made. It's just literally hanging by a thread. You don't know. Maybe it is sturdy, or maybe it's about to break. So you touching, or you mishandling the prop could actually be a whole disastrous experience for the cosplay. So this is one of the points that I wanted to talk about in this session, is how to approach a cosplayer at a con. So if you see a cosplayer, just go up to them, uh, tell them that you want to take a picture. Most of the time, they will say yes, and they will accept taking a picture, because they are happy to take a picture with the audience. That is one of the reasons they wanted to put a costume and come to a convention. That 1% of the time where a cosplayer denies to take a picture with you is because maybe they are extremely tired. Maybe it's the end of the convention. Conventions can be extremely draining, I tell you, really. Like it's mentally and physically draining. So maybe they are extremely tired, or it could be something else, some other reason. Maybe it's a personal reason, or maybe they had a bad experience, and they don't want to take pictures with others. But for most part, cosplayers love taking pictures with people. They love posing. They love enacting the character. They want to give you the experience of what you experienced in the anime or in the series. They want to give you a little taste of that, what you saw in 2D, what you saw on the computer monitor. They want to bring that to real life, and they want you to experience that and feel that. That's one of the reasons cosplayers actually cosplay. It's not just about them. It's about how they spread that energy and spread their happiness with the fellow fans. So, going to a con, if you want to approach a cosplayer, go up to them, tell them that you want to take a picture. They'll post for the picture. If you want to handle a prop, please ask them, can I take a look at your prop? If they say no, please respect that, because there is a obvious reason. There's a valid reason why they don't want you to handle the prop. Maybe it's fragile. But if they offer you their prop, please handle it with care. And if you want to ask how they made the prop, ask them. Most of them will be happy to tell you about the process of how they made the prop. So yes, so that's how you approach um, a cosplayer at a con. And if you're someone who wants to cosplay, I would give one important tip, is that choose a character that you really love. Choose a character that has inspired you in some way. The reason behind this is because when you're cosplaying, when you're making the cosplay costume, you put in so much effort. There's a lot of planning. You invest money in it. So there's also fair amount of pain that goes into making the cosplay costume, because you need to invest time, and something should motivate you, right? So if you want to feel motivated, make sure you choose a character that you really like, so that you're gonna have a mental picture of how you're going to look in the cosplay, and that should inspire you. Right? You are actually making this costume because something has inspired you to to make the effort to make the costume. So if you don't feel a connection towards the character, mostly in most cases you're gonna drop midway. Okay? If it's something, if it's a character that you really love, you're gonna cherish the cosplay costume. It's gonna stay with you, and every time you look at the costume, you're gonna feel good. So I would suggest that you choose a character that has inspired you in some way, so that your cosplay, the journey of your cosplay making and your cosplay experience will be a memorable one, right? Okay. So next important thing that I wanted to say is uh, this. So remember, I told how you can make cosplay costumes out of literally nothing. and it all depends on your creativity. So I want to share with you an experience that I had. So this was the hip band that I had for my Sukuna cosplay. So firstly, this material is made out of sari falls. If you are familiar with sari falls, it's a patch of cloth that people sew at the bottom of the sari so that it doesn't get damaged, because that part of the cloth is in contact with the floor and it may get damaged. So people sew up this patch of cloth called sari falls. So I bought the sari falls because it's ready made. I don't have to stitch it. It saves me a lot of time, and it costs like 20 rupees. Like that's the cheapest piece of cloth I could get. So I bought this, and if you notice on top, I painted. Sorry, my cat is screaming. Apologies. Okay, anyway, um, so I bought this cloth and I painted these lines. That's how Sukuna's hip band will look. I painted these with acrylics. You can also sew a small patch of white cloth. Depends on what decision you make. When trying to bring out a piece of your cosplay costume. So I did this and I wore this on the first day, which is on the Saturday show for Jujutsu Kaisen. Only to notice that this piece of cloth is a very it doesn't really have any structure, doesn't and it kept rolling up on my hip like a belt. So that night I came home and I stuck these two cardboard pieces of cardboard from uh, from an Amazon package, and then since then it's been good. It's sturdy, so when I wear it on my hip, it stays well, like so. And I could just simply put a knot at the back, and it just stays well. It doesn't fold or it doesn't crumble. So that's one creative way. I mean, my creative way of solving the problem. Maybe someone else has a better idea. I don't know. I mean, this is the idea that I came up with, right? So why I wanted to say this is because there is no right way or right role to make a cosplay prop. Someone else would have filled this piece of cloth with felt. Felt is a material that is kind of spongy, but also has some sturdiness to it. It can bend, but it will not curl, right? So that's the kind of material felt is. So maybe they would have sewed a piece of felt to give it some structure. Maybe they would have actually sewed white cloth instead of using acrylic paint. So the end goal is for your cosplay costume, when you wear the entire costume together, it all should come together and give you the impression that you're actually, a character. That is, when a person looks at your cosplay, they should be able to recognize the character. That is when your cosplay is a successful cosplay. I wouldn't rate any cosplay as a cosplay fail. There is no such thing as a failed cosplay, because cosplay doesn't have any rules, right? I've noticed certain people comment about certain things, like you shouldn't cosplay this character because you have a dark skin tone, or you shouldn't cosplay this character because your physique does not resemble the actual character, right? Cosplay is all about fun. There's no actual rule that you have to have this particular physique in order to cosplay the character, right? It's a free art form. You can use any materials you want. You can be of any race or any ethnicity, whoever you are, right? You can cosplay any character. And if anyone passes any such comments, like they're just being jerks. That's all I'll say. So the reason I say this is because new people, when they come into the cosplay community, they have a lot of questions, and if their initial experience in the cosplay community is going to be a bad one, if they are going to receive negative comments, that's going to stick to their head, and they are going to give up on cosplay very soon. So I would say, please do not encourage such comments from coming in. It's okay to cosplay any character. If you are a guy, you can cosplay a female character. That's absolutely fine. It's called crossplay.
Alexa, 1 and
So
0.
yeah, sorry. someone said something. Okay, cool. So if you're a guy, if you want to cosplay a female character, that's fine. A female can cosplay a male character, that is fine. You can use the imagination to customize your character, your cosplay costume to look in whatever way you want. The end goal is for someone to look at you and name your character. That is when your cosplay is success. That is when you have actually put together a good cosplay costume. One tip that I would say is when you are going to make a cosplay costume, make a list of the things that the actual character has, so that it's easy for you to figure out what are the parts, what are the things that you can afford. Maybe the character has a colored hair and you want to make you want to buy the wig, but you cannot afford a wig, or you're not in a position to color your hair. Right? I mean, you can ignore that part. Maybe there is a prop that you cannot make, a prop that the character has, but you should see if it's okay for cosplaying the character without the prop. If it's okay, yes, you can ignore the prop. So when it comes to cosplaying something, make sure that there's at least 4 to 5 parts, 4 to 5 materials that you can put on in the costume. Let's take Luffy, for example, who has a hat, um, a shirt, a pant, and some face makeup. And I need to wear my sandals. So that's about 4 to 5 props, 4 to 5 things, I would say. So choose a character that at least has 4 to 5 things that you can make for the cosplay. That The reason I tell this is because your cosplay shouldn't look too casual. It can look very complicated, but it shouldn't look too casual, right? I mean, if you want to stand out from the crowd. So make sure that you jot down, when you choose a character, you jot down the things that the person is wearing, the character is wearing, and then in that list, filter down whatever you can make, whatever you can afford. It's okay to buy. It's okay to commission it if you know someone who can commission the props. And I mean, if you are able to pay, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure that you know what you're doing, and you are sure of what the materials you're going to use, and what the things you're going to make for the cosplay costume. One point that came up in my mind is edit cosplay. I want to give a short talk about edit cosplay. Edit cosplay is, you're an ordinary person, and for the sake of cosplay, you cannot afford clothes, or you are not in the mood to make the costume, but you still want to cosplay just for the fun of it. So what people do is they edit props onto their body, and they call it cosplay. So that's not actually cosplay. It's called a edit. It's okay to edit. That's absolutely fine. But make sure, I mean, if someone edits something like that, they need to make sure that they mention that it's an edit and it's not an actual cosplay. Why? Because you need to know the difference between an actual cosplay and an edit. If someone edits a picture that is so good, you cannot differentiate that it's an actual cosplay. People are going to get the impression that that is what cosplay is about. So let's take one photoshopped picture versus someone who does the same cosplay, which took them a whole month. Right? This person would have done this Photoshop edit in a couple of days. Right? There's an obvious difference between the amount of effort that goes into. Is it wrong? It's not wrong. They're doing it for fun. However, they need to. If you're someone who edits props onto your body, just make sure that you mention that it's an edit, that and it is not a cosplay, right? So that is one point that I wanted to add. And another thing is, for my Sukuna cosplay, I had to wear face makeup. So the first time when I started, doing the curse marks on my face, it was extremely tiring because it had to be symmetrical. I could not make any mistakes. I got help from one of my friends, and he's not a professional though, but he tried his best to help me with my face makeup with the curse marks, and even he was finding it extremely difficult to wear the curse marks. And one of my cosplay friends gave me an idea. He told me to create stencils. So I created these cardboard stencils. If you can see, This is the one that goes on the forehead like this, and this is the one that goes on the side over here. This is one important and very useful hack that I found recently. I wanted to share this with you guys. So, if you have a character, cosplay character that involves face makeup, another important character, one of the cosplay characters in my pipeline is Eren Yeager, and for that I have to draw the founder Titan makeup, and for that I'm preparing a stencil. It may be some other character for which you need to do face makeup or even body makeup, right? So while doing this, it's very essential to have these stencils so that it's very easy for you to put on the draw the makeup. Whether you're going to draw it yourself or you're going to ask someone else to draw, making these type of stencils is very useful.
I think your video cut.
Yeah.